Hello everybody, this is Stephen Whitfield with Drilling Contractor, and we are here in Amsterdam, site of the 2025 IADC World Drilling Conference. And I am with a man who spoke at this conference, Csorba of DNV. He was part of a panel that spoke about assets and cybersecurity, with the panelists talking about different elements of cybersecurity, from the threats and standards and things like that. Monte talked a lot about the role of AI in cybersecurity, and we are going to make that the focus of our little conversation here today. So, Monte, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you very much for having me.
So, I know we said AI, I know I just said that, but I want to start with one point that you made in your presentation that I thought was fascinating. Sort of talking about sort of this overall sort of IT/OT ecosystem, right? And how, we've seen sort of a blurring of the lines as we've seen a lot of technological developments coming over the past few years. Can you tell us a bit about what you mean by sort of that blurring of the lines, and how much complexity are we seeing being added to the ecosystem nowadays?
Right. So we've talked about IT and OT and the difference between these two concepts for many, many years now, actually. And so the borders between IT and OT are getting more and more blurred as we are getting more and more integrated systems. So IT systems are typically systems that you can find in an office, enterprise systems, corporate workstations, whereas OT systems are what you find on the drill floor, so control systems, PLCs. And these two different types of systems definitely need different types of measures and mitigations and protections, and they also have different type of vulnerabilities. Now, when these borders are getting blurred, these systems are getting more and more connected, then this will change the mix and also will change the approach that we need to take to protect these systems. On top of that, we have cloud computing, where we expect that OT systems, which used to be isolated, getting more and more pulled up to the cloud, connected to the cloud, which will bring an additional layer of complexity when it comes to securing these systems.
Now, in your presentation here at the conference, you cited a report on responsible use of AI in operational context, operational and OT context. And one of the things that you cited from that report was looking at these three different steps or three different views of how AI is going to be used, or is being used, will be used within this context. Can you go over those steps?
Right, so on the very short term, or even today, what we can see is that AI-based solutions are used in an advisory manner. For example, to process data that we get from, let's say, from the OT systems down from the drill floor. And that data is processed by AI and used to support optimization, energy consumption, predictive maintenance type of advisory solutions. That is the first one, short term. Then on the medium term, what we expect to see is usage of AI in control systems, or what we call the OT systems, operational technology. And in that phase, we'll see AI actually moving things around and being part of the control. That's the second step on the medium term. Now, on the longer term, what we expect to see, if you look into the crystal ball, is that AI solutions will be used to help develop autonomous systems, such as drones, underwater vehicles, systems which don't have a very critical impact in the end. There we will see these solutions surfacing. And last but not least, what we don't foresee at the moment is AI being used in safety-critical applications, where we will still need the human operator to at least have a vote against the AI.
Even in an increasingly AI-dominated ecosystem, we still need people.
We still need people, yes.
Okay, so last question. We'll get into sort of the role of vendors in sort of this ecosystem. As we see sort of AI becoming more and more critical overall, even if we don't know where it will fit within the security context, it's still going to be critical, and vendors are going to play a critical role in helping incorporate this into the OT context. So can you sort of go into the role that vendors will play here?
Right, so I think we talked about AI as an additional layer of complexity, and it was a little bit darker picture that we painted maybe during the panel, that it comes with cybersecurity risks. But actually, for the makers, the OEMs and the vendors, there's also an opportunity in developing new AI systems. So this will be pretty much like a new build. So you can actually make an impact. It is also an opportunity because you can make things right. You can do secure by design development of AI-based solutions. We almost start from scratch, so we can make it right this time, opposed to bolting it on to existing systems, which is a much harder task usually, meaning it's also much more expensive to mitigate risks on systems which were not designed with security in mind.
Well, Mate, thank you so much for giving us that insight. It's an ever-changing, ever-evolving landscape, and it's interesting to see where we'll end up here. So thanks for giving us a perspective.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for visiting drillingcontractor.org.